Okay, so this box came FedEx from Santa Rosa, California. And I'm located on the East Coast, so it had quite a trip. I asked that they double box it and whatnot. These things can tend to take quite a harsh journey going across that much distance. So this thing opened up, so have a look. See some packing. Is it double boxed? It may not be. I asked for double box, but seldom get it. No, it's just right there. I can see the vents. It's packed, but it's not double boxed. Let's get this stuff out of here. I will go ahead and set you up on a tripod just for fun. It does make it easier to work with two hands, but I'm really not that critical usually when I'm filming that I have to have that kind of quality. I just like to shoot raw. And a lot of times I don't even have the time to shoot the video. I just shoot it because I just want to document it. This is a barn find, it was called, and it's in rough shape. But I seem to like the ugly ducklings anyway. I'll turn it around so you can see what it is. Take a look at the back. It's a Monarch MAT-128. This label usually falls off. It's an AM/FM non-stereo tube receiver. And like I said, this has been, it's usually a dark blue is its color. We only had one knob chipped in the picture. I'll have to check that. These knobs always are missing or broken. I thought it only had one chip there. We have 1/4-inch screws. I brought a screwdriver. I just want to see. I'm just going to take a look at this. I'm going to get that deep into it. But Monarch, I believe, it's an import. And I'm going to put this at about 1960, or it's not stereo, so it's could be as early as 58 or so before stereo came out. Scratch filter mode. I'm gonna have to look in this plastic to see if there's bits and pieces of the knobs, or inspect them to see if that's fresh breakage or not. I don't believe so, but one never knows. But all the brights are there, and I just like this early stuff. Early imported. I believe that this is a Trio Kenwood. The thing about the tripod, I gotta keep moving it to get the best angle. But let me pop the cover. I want to see what we have in here for a tube complement. This didn't come with these 1/4-inch self-tapping screws. Someone added these. This would have had machined metric threads originally. I own a Monarch model SA30, which is just a 15 watt per channel stereo amplifier from about the same era. And I believe it uses 6 GW8s as the output. It uses a vertical television vertical output tube or something with the triode and pentode inside the same envelope. Let's turn this around. Have a look. Ford is the original. You should say Kawasaki. This doesn't. I can't quite read it in this light. We'll get to that in a minute. It is rough. I'll guarantee you that every single, let me get this, let me tilt this up a little so you can see. One output transformer, power transformer, and our outputs are 6 BM8. That's what the, I believe the other one, 6 BM8. And that looks like an RCA made in Canada replacements. ECL 82. And the plates and whatnot. Not the best shape. The dial glass, don't want to touch those letters on there. They'll fall right off if you wipe them. The dial string looks intact. All the oil-filled capacitors under there will need to be replaced, and along with these electrolytics over here. So there you have it. Maybe I'll pop off the bottom and have a peek at the underneath for a short bit. These are the type screws that would be holding the cover on. They're M5s, I'm just guessing. Okay, and on the floor we just happened to stumble across the threaded knurled screw that was missing on the speaker output, so that's always good. Now we have the four complete screws for the output terminals. I believe some of these big screws are the screws for, there's only 3 of them, are the screws for the cover. What they did is they put the cover screws in the bottom. The bottom should be all this smaller size here. Let's have a look at the underneath real quick. This will take a little time to go through, but see, I can't see anything. I'm going to go back to holding the camera. I just want to pan around this and take a close shot. Yes, and our tripod here is vintage Japanese also. This Vivitar tripod is probably as old as this receiver here is, but I'm going to just take a look around the bottom from the transformer and the filter capacitors. I believe, like I said, I may have mentioned that Trio Kenwood, I believe, was the OEM of this. I may be mistaken. I could be wrong. Okay, and the tuning string is intact. The plates are quite dirty. Everything is quite dirty. I've heard of folks putting things like this in a dishwasher. May have to wait till a nice spring day and give it a gentle bath. It looks to be just dirt. It'd be hard pressed to find any service information on this thing. You just have to just take documentation and do it on your own, because not much has been documented about these. Let's see what we have for a rectifier here. Sometimes you can't even get the tube numbers. Sometimes they'll stamp it in the chassis. Not sure we're so lucky here. I don't see what... There it is on the bottom. 6CA4 is the rectifier. When the numbers get rubbed off, I've used high magnification to see some of the tube numbers, and it's worked for probably 75% of the time when there appears to be no number on the tube. Our IF strips there, AM and FM. Preamps are probably the shielded tubes out up here. I'm sure we all know what these are. It doesn't appear that they stamp the chassis. We won't know till we get the dirt off. Let's take a look at what this tube is. You have to have 3 hands to try and get these tubes out of these shields here, but RCA 12AU7. It's not original, which bothers me a little bit. That could actually have been in 12AX7, and we'll never know unless I look at the other tube over there. Okay, as I suspected, that tube over there is in fact, let me get some focus, is in fact a 12AX7A. Non-branded. It is USA, so it is a replacement. May not be, but typically they come with Japanese tubes. Made in USA. I don't know how many other tubes. There's a 6BA6. A couple of front end tubes there. 6BE6. Well, okay, there you have it, unless it's stamped on the chassis. I don't know if that was a factory 12AU7 or not, but we have 12AX7 over here. Let's put this back, button this back up, and put it with the rest of the round tuets, as it's called. Shield back on here. Seem to have lost some integrity of our shield here. We'll fix that and that back the way it should be. I'll have to review my video here, but that's why I like to document these things. I believe this tube shield was on upside down. We'll have to look back at the video. But our 2 outputs, our rectifier, IF for the AM and the FM. Tuning is in good shape other than being very dirty. Put the cover back on, and that'll do it for the Monarch. What model do we have? Again, it's the High Fidelity MAT120A. Okay, although I stand corrected, although I do believe these are supposed to be fine threaded screws on the cabinet, the stamping is bigger for the 4 on the sides. So the 4 on the sides do take a larger thread than the ones on the back side. And I did mention that the cord does say Kawasaki on it. And here's our beginning of the end for our American-made stereo component counterparts here. It was a slow death, but this is where it all began. I date this at about, again, 1958, 59. I will stress one piece of advice if you buy on eBay or get things shipped to, is to always keep the packaging. Don't just throw the box away, because sometimes there'll be parts in there that have shaken loose and are inside the box. It's happened to me on at least 2 occasions. Okay, just like a herd of cows, we'll take this one, bag it and tag it, and put it with the round tuets. One last thing. I did find that one knurled screw, but there is still one missing, so it's probably the one for the antenna that we found, but I've attached it to the speaker outputs. And with the wire there, they were using 8 ohm. Thanks for watching. Again, I have no date on this, but the MAT120 Monaural Delux. Stereo was out by the late 50s, so why would they be producing a high fidelity model if stereo was out? So that's why I put this about 1958 or so, late 50s. Thanks for watching.